There is no God. Today we're going to talk about the story of Genesis, the story of the creation. This is a kind of a bullshit topic because the people who are stupid enough to believe in the creation story to begin with are so stupid that what's the fucking point? You're never going to change their minds. I mean, they're obviously retarded. I don't mean retarded isn't like you call your best friend retarded or you call someone who's really dumb retarded. I mean clinically retarded. I mean, I think if you read the Bible and you literally believe it to be true, then I'm surprised you can read to begin with. Okay, but that's not the point. I'm not trying to be rude to them. I mean, they're just not as evolved as everyone else on the planet. That's fine. In the beginning, God created... Wait, what? Where did this God character come from? What's his story? What are his origins? Nobody knows. Well, it's not really a creation story if you can't tell me where this fucking God came from all of a sudden. That doesn't seem reasonable to me. It seems to me that if you're going to tell me a creation story, I should know where the creator came from. Because if I don't know the origin of the creator, then I don't really know the origin of the universe because... Well, you see, because if he existed, then there was something in existence, so what? I don't get it. There was nothing, and then there was God? What? That doesn't make sense. I mean, it just doesn't, complexity just happened all of a sudden. Boom! God! Wow! Granted, maybe there's something beyond the realm of human understanding that I'm just not grasping, but why would we just assume that there is? I mean, I think it's more natural to assume there isn't until we have evidence to the contrary, but most Christians disagree. Anyway. So, right from the beginning, first sentence, total bullshit, we already see, oh my god, this story's ridiculous. I mean, as far as beginnings go, that's almost as bad as, it was a dark and stormy night. Okay, so, fuck that. Alright, so what happens right off the bat? He makes a whole bunch of plants and birds and shit, which no one cared. I mean, he separated the light from the darkness, which is kind of weird because darkness is just the absence of light and you wouldn't think you need to really split them up. But whatever, that's not the point. He made all that shit, that's really boring, no one cares. Oh, there is two contradicting versions of that in the Bible, by the way. I think there's one where he created plants and then animals, and one where he completed animals, then plants, or something along those lines. I don't really know. But there are two contradicting stories of creation, I know that much. So, if you believe the Bible is literally true, you really do have to do some doublethink, some major doublethink in that department. Because that's not even an arguable fallacy. I mean, some of these fallacies I can see Christians, they'll do their little tap dance around it. Well, that's different because, this Jebediah and that Jebediah, Jebediah's life was symbolic or, whatever. But they can't really ignore that one. If they want to take the Bible literally, then they can't ignore that one. Because, there's two separate accounts of the same thing, and one contradicts the other, no matter how you look at it. But God works in mysterious ways. That's all they need. Faith! We have faith. We have faith that error is somehow, that we can't perceive, true. Maybe God did it twice. You ever think of that? He created one universe and he created another. And there's two different accounts. Maybe the first one fucked up and he, scratched it and then, he went on and did the same thing again, but did it in a different order because it made more sense. Whatever. Then he creates Adam and Eve. Well, actually, let's go to the Jewish text for a minute. Because the Jews had this contradiction, and I don't know why they were so bothered by a contradiction in their holy text. There's so many contradictions, but apparently this one contradiction seemed bigger than all the other ones to them. One account of the creation of the world said that Adam and Eve were created at the same time. Well, it didn't say Adam and Eve were created at the same time, it said Adam and his wife were created at the same time. Because, women are barely worth naming, really. And then another account said, the basic story that we all know where he was, lonely and God, took a rib and made a woman, which, why would he need a rib? He didn't need anything to create Adam, so suddenly he needs a fucking rib? I don't get it, whatever. And, and did he take ribs from all the other male animals? Did he just create males initially? Were we all supposed to live in kind of a Brokeback Mountain society? I don't know. Anyway, so we have all these little problems here. But in Jewish lore, the way they solved this little contradiction, and once again, I don't know why they bothered, was they said that at first Adam had a wife named Lilith. Yeah, that's right, Adam had two wives. He first had a wife named Lilith, but she was kicked out of the garden because she wanted to be on top when they fucked. I'm not joking. That's really the fucking story. So Adam didn't. I guess he didn't like him on top. I personally like them on top because then they get to control things, and I just sit there and be lazy. And I'm kind of I don't like to do a lot of work. I don't like all that thrusting and shit. They can do that. But Adam didn't like it. Apparently Adam was more of an athletic type of guy. He liked to be dominant and be on top and all that. So whatever. The old school mentality, obviously. Because if I had a girl that always wanted to be on top, I'd be fine with that. Call me ladies. Anyway, anyway, she got kicked out of the Garden of Eden, and as punishment for being a bitch, apparently, God turned her into what we basically think of today as a vampire that feeds on children, which I would think is more of a punishment to the children than to her, and since there were no children at the time, it kind of doesn't make sense, but whatever. I guess she was going to have to wait a few thousand years until some children came about. Anyway, but that's not the main version of the Bible that most Christians believe in, so, that was just a little aside. So anyway,